Hello YouTube, Wes here, checking in with a brand new episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Hope you're all doing well, having a great day whenever it is you're watching this. Let's get into it. As always, 10 albums up on the chopping block, pulled from my inbox. I let you know what I thought of each one, let you know whether they're going to be staying in my permanent collection or whether they just weren't for me and they're going to be going away. The ones that don't stay in the collection may end up in my Discogs store. That's you can find that by going to deepdishrecords.com. That'll take you right over to Discogs, and you'll be able to see my current inventory if you want to check out anything in my store. Helps keep the channel going. Thank you for that. Thank you for checking that out. Let's go ahead and get into this. First album we have here is an indie rock album from 2010 from the band Soft Circle, titled Shore Obsessed. I believe this is their one and only LP they put out. Really interesting sort of, it almost has sort of a spiritual sound to it, almost like a Ravi Shankar does indie rock. I know it sounds crazy. Really good. There are some nice electronics on here as well. I really dug this group a lot. This was a blind buy. I picked this up from I think Soundstage Direct. I added this into my order years ago to make up for. So I got free shipping, and basically that made this. I was either going to pay for shipping or get this record for free, and I was glad I got this. Really cool group. Sadly, it doesn't seem like they stayed together or continued making music, but I like this a lot. It's a really good indie rock album. Inner color printed inner sleeve there. This is on black vinyl with custom kind of nondescript labels there. Not even sure what this would be if you didn't have the jacket. So yeah, Preston United, unfortunately. But a great band, great music, so I definitely recommend checking them out if you like indie rock. That's Soft Circle with the album is titled Shore Obsessed. And first one up on the chopping block, and this one is going to be staying in my permanent collection. I like it. There's actually a splattered vinyl version of this that came with a signed poster that I'm thinking about picking up on Discogs because it's pretty cheap, as I guess nobody likes this except for me, but yeah, I'm thinking about getting that at some point if I can. But for now I have the standard issue of that, so that's nice. Next thing I have to talk about is some more soundtrack music from the Netflix series Stranger Things by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein of Survive. This is sort of a dark wave, ambient kind of synthy kind of stuff, more of the same. If you've heard any of the soundtrack, it's pretty similar throughout. The insert, or not the insert, the gatefold is yeah, it's just got 11 in there, and that's it. But it's neat how it is. It's very striking, I guess, in its negative space usage of negative space anyway. Yeah, nice 2 LP set there. I'm not remember if I got this on colored vinyl or yeah, this is a smoke colored variant of this. They did tons of different colors on these Stranger Things pressings. But yeah, this one is the smoky one. And it's got a nice little insert, sort of 12 by 12 poster there. So yeah, Stranger Things, nice ambient synth dark wave kind of stuff, and yeah, if you enjoy the show, you enjoy the music. These are fun to pick up. I haven't picked up all of them, but I have a few, and they're enjoyable to listen to. So that's going to be staying in my collection. All right, next thing I have to talk about is a comedy album, and this one is from Eddie Harris. The Reason Why I'm Talking Shit is the title of this one. Yeah, so sort of the premise of this whole album is he's pretending like he's a saxophone player, and he gets up and he starts, like a musician would, starts saying, "Oh, I want to play you this song. This was what this song means to me." Kind of the whole spiel a musician will do when they play live before they play a song. And then it's just him sort of telling jokes, and he goes into this whole thing of jokes, and he might play like a little bit, and then he'll start telling more jokes, and the whole time he's doing this whole bit about how he's talking about these songs he's going to play for you, and he never actually plays the songs. He just tells jokes the whole time. It was a pretty funny listen. It's a comedy album, so they kind of don't have a lot of replayability. In the past, I've kept comedy albums, but moving forward, I'm thinking I'm going to start listening and passing them on. I enjoyed listening to this. It was funny. It definitely got some laughs from me. He's got a whole bit about people getting ready to go out for the night, kind of, dressing up and all that kind of stuff, fighting for the bathroom and all that kind of thing. Like I said, it was a funny one to listen to. It's on the Atlantic label. Pretty standard there. So yeah, Eddie Harris, The Reason Why I'm Talking Shit. It's funny, enjoyable listen, but not going to be a keeper for me. I've gotten what I need to get out of this, so I'm going to be passing this one on. Next up is an upgrade copy, so I won't spend too much time on it, but this is an upgrade copy to Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant. Really nice copy of this that I found. Classic one for me. My original copy of this, it was involved in a flood that I had at an apartment I lived at years ago. I got rid of a lot of the stuff that got flooded. Somebody had a waterbed, and they weren't supposed to have waterbeds there, and they were in an upstairs apartment, and it ruined a bunch of my records, and I was not happy about it. But I did end up keeping it, so my original copy of this has some waviness on the cover, but this is a nice pristine copy of it. Sort of the classic, Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant. I think most people know this by now. Sort of a comedy meets folk music kind of thing. This is on the Reprise Steamboat label. Like I said, very nice copy of this, and an upgrade for me. So that's going to be replacing my original copy of Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant. Next up, we have what was a blind buy for me at the St. Augustine Record Show a number of years ago. Didn't know what this was going to be, just thought it was an interesting looking cover. And this is Dear Heart Queen Worker Drone is the title. 1995, I believe, is the release on this. This is a noise rock group, turns out. Definitely not something for me. It's noise rock. It sounds like a mess. It's kind of like the free jazz of the rock world. It's just a bunch of noise. Yeah. So that one, it was not a keeper for me. On Goldenrod Records, and kind of a neat teal colored label there. This one came with the CD booklet. I guess they didn't bother making a vinyl only version of that, and then I guess a postcard too. But yeah, that one will end up in the Discogs store, I'm sure. It's a nice copy, just definitely not something for me. I'm not into the noise rock kind of stuff. But it was fun to pick up and spin and check out and see what it was. They can't all be winners, as they say. All right, next thing I have to share with you is a country album. I believe this is from around 1972. The actor Michael Parks with his album Blue. I believe this is his first album, music album. Yeah, just very traditional country, folky country kind of stuff here. Not really what I would normally go for, but it was a fun one to sort of just check out and see what it's all about. I never listened to a Michael Parks album before. Didn't know he had an album, but yeah, there it is, and it's very traditional country pop from the late 60s, early 70s. The best way to put that on the MGM label. Nice gold and teal label. So yeah, Michael Parks Blue, enjoyable listen, but country is not really something that I collect a lot of, and it was a nice listen, but not a keeper for me. All right, next up we got another one here from 1972. We got Van Morrison with St. Dominic's Preview. This one has Jackie Wilson Said on it. Very traditional blue-eyed soul, Van Morrison album here. If you like Moondance, you're probably going to like this. It's along the same lines. Really good, really well played. This is not necessarily the nicest copy of this, but I was glad to be able to pick it up and give it a listen. This is on the Warner Brothers green label, army green there, that weird one that they did for a while. Yeah, Van Morrison, St. Dominic's Preview. Not much needs to be said. Most of you have heard Van Morrison before, and this is definitely very traditional Van Morrison. Not my favorite Van Morrison album, but a good one, and it's going to be staying in my collection until I can find an upgrade for it. All right, next up, moving into 1977, we have a really cool one here. This one is Kraftwerk's Trans-Europe Express. Of course, electronic music from the 70s. Kraftwerk are the name, the one you want to have. Of course, it's got the title track, Trans-Europe Express. Really, really great album from them. Definitely was a nice listen to be able to sit down and hear this album in its fullest, or in its completeness. Really nice minty copy of it. Nice insert there. This is an original press on the Capitol purple and silver label. Really nice minty copy of it that I found at a record show years ago. Had to pay a bit for it, but it's definitely worth it. So yeah, Kraftwerk's Trans-Europe Express. This one is definitely a keeper for me. Definitely up my alley as far as things I like to collect. And yeah, can't recommend this one enough. Hopefully you've heard it. If not, check it out. All right, next up we have a prog/glam group. This is Ian Lloyd and Stories with Traveling Underground from 1973. I believe this is their middle album. They did 3 albums in 1970. They did one in 72 and 2 in 73, and this was their first one in 73. Yeah, very much a progressive sort of glam rock kind of sound. You know, a mixture of Queen and Yes and that kind of thing. Really good. Nothing that really jumps out and is amazing, but a solid album. Really nice sound. If you're into prog, if you're into glam rock, you'll probably like this. And I did like this. As I said, it's nothing that's amazing. It's nothing that's going to blow your socks off. But it's a good album, good solid group, and yeah, really, really nice songs. So this one is going to be a keeper for me, and that's on the Kama Sutra label. Yeah, so Ian Lloyd and Stories, Traveling Underground. If you haven't checked them out before and you're into prog, definitely say check them out. A good group, good solid group. They, as I said, they only have 3 albums, so not a lot to collect there, but yeah, enjoyable and worth checking out. All right, and lastly but not least, we have one more Van Morrison here for you. This is his band and street choir. When was this released? 1970 is the year on this one. This one has Domino on it. Classic Van Morrison hit. Again, very much a blue-eyed soul kind of thing from him. If you like the song Domino, you're probably going to like the rest of this. It's a good, solid album from him. I definitely enjoyed it. There's the back cover. This one is a gatefold. Lots of photos in there, which is nice. And again on the Army Green Warner Brothers label. Yeah, really cool multiple exposure cover here. Really nice solid album. Good way to close out this episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave me some comments. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, great night. Remember, there is no bad music, only music you don't like. And we'll see you again next time. Cheers.